Good morning. I am going to show you part one of my mixed media canvas portrait that I started yesterday. Now, if you watch the video that I uploaded yesterday in the morning, I had showed you all my Michaels haul and what I was going to use in yesterday's canvas painting. Now, today I'm on part two. The canvas had to sit overnight. But I'm going to go over some of the materials I used first, and then I will show you where I'm at on the canvas. I love mixed media art. It gives me a challenge, but yet you don't make mistakes with mixed media art. I don't think you do. It goes by the individuality, the creative mind of the artist, and I love shapes and sizes, and you start layering. So you combine all the elements and all the colors that you want to use. Now, here's what I used in the canvas for some of the elements, okay? I used a metal clock. I used all these wooden flowers, but they were the roses that I used. I used a picture frame to create a arbor, a garden arbor that you walk through when you're in your garden. I used diamond mesh. I used that for texture. I used a bunch of flowers and a bunch of birds. I used canvas flowers and burlap flowers and paper flowers. I used some gears, but I don't have any left. I used quite a bit of different elements. I also used very lightweight spackling. With the spackling, I had to create a path. Now I was going to use tiles, but tiles eventually get heavy on canvas. So I had to come up with some idea to create a path. And once I show you the canvas, you'll understand. So I used the lightweight spackling, okay? And my putty knife. And here is all the colors that I used. This entire tray. This is my craft room. This is where I start, but I go in a different section of the house or in the garage to add all my paints and sprays. So this entire tray went out there with me, and this is what I've used. I've used all these colors, acrylics, I used all these colors of ink. Yes, I used diamond dust in this form. And I used some Mod Podge to seal the pathway because I am finished with the pathway right now and I don't want to get any more colors on top of it. So I did seal that area. So this is what I used. I did use some lace. I'm trying to think of some other stuff I placed on the canvas. But this is basically the supplies that I used. And I still have to find the letter or the word. I would like the word spring. Okay, so without further ado, here's what the canvas looks like. See, there's the diamond mesh and then all the color inks. There's the pathway with the spackle. I used the stencil and the spackle. And here's the arbor. I took that frame and I created an arch, an arbor. And then all the other colors of paint I just showed you, and all the elements. This sat overnight, and I'm ready for part 2 today. I wanted to show you because this clearly shows all the different inks that I used for the top part. of this. That will be covered. I'm going to try to create the illusion that we're walking here in the wintertime, but walking towards spring. Okay, so I'm going to have a white, snowy, and using sparkling dust, diamond dust, right here with my picture. I have to create all that yet with the photo. Okay, but then we're walking into spring. So once you understand that, you will see the final results in part 2, and it will be a video slideshow. It won't be a live. Okay, so watch for that. If I can find the photo, I'll just give you an idea of the photo. Here it is. See how it's white, how we're walking? And yeah, it was snowing, first day of snow in December. Now, that was the photo I was going to use, and I realized it's too big. I have to downscale it first and print it up. And place it on chipboard, okay? Then I'm going to use some type of gesso, gel, or Mod Podge, and then layer it with diamond dust. Now I'm going to use not the diamond dust in the spray. I'm not going to use that. That's what I use for the canvas so far. I'm going to use the diamond dust that's in the little container, okay? Because I'm going to create snow yet. I'm going to place snow on this photo using Snow Tech. Where is my Snow Tech? Here it is. Okay, I'm going to use some of that and then that. And this picture is going to fit in there. I might place a little bit of snow right here so you're walking towards spring. Might be too much for some people. For me, it's a challenge. And this is what I have so far. And I did place the bird with the glittery leaf, displaying, you know, how things are ready to bloom in spring. Well, this side right here is already like full color. Everything else is still darker. The peacock colors, the greens, the blues, the purples. You know, can you see all those different colors in there? And then here's the gears. There's gears up here. And more of the diamond mesh to create the dimensions. And then there's little snowflakes in here, but I colored them the spring colors too. But it's added in there. And yes, you can see the lace on the wooden arch or arbor. And right here is a dragonfly. Do you see it? It's another bird. See the bird? And this is a webcam, so it's not really picking up the true colors and the beauty of this. Like I said, this is all sprayed in the glitter diamond dust up here on the top. The bottom was finally sealed with the Mod Podge. This created the pathways. And look at that. It dried, hardened, and this portrait's really super light. And yes, I did use those tiny little mason jars to create, you know, more texture on this canvas. I showed that yesterday in the Michaels haul and placed them here and there. But this was fun, making this pathway and then using all these different types of inks. And went in and let it dry. And then went in again with another color and let it dry. And went in again with another color. This was an all day, all evening waiting in between times. Sometimes I used the heat gun. Other times I allowed it to set all on its own. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Part 1. So stay tuned for part 2. And it'll be a video slideshow that will start with the very beginning of adding the gesso or the gesso, however you pronounce it, and all the way to everything will be on it. The photo, the Snow Tech, everything. Thank you for stopping in this morning. Get yourself a bunch of mixed media art supplies and start. If you would like a class, I will offer classes. They will be 1 day or 2 day sessions. It's depending on what you are going to want to do. Okay? Classes will start at $50. I will have the supplies for that. But if you want to start doing something like this yourself, get yourself a canvas, a blank canvas, some gesso. Make sure you prime it first, and then do what you want to do with it. Just keep adding to it. Keep adding color. Play around. You'll never know what you'll end up with. You'll end up with a masterpiece, believe me. And creativity will just start to flow. Take away all the stress in your life, for sure, at the time. Some people like to go to the bar and have a beer. Some people want to take a smoke and go outside and smoke a cigarette. Some people do puzzles. Some people do crosswords. I do not do any of those. I work with art. That is my hobby. That is my love. That is my passion. That is also my freedom. Because there's no right or wrong way. There's no rules or rhyme. Seriously. Thanks for stopping in. See you on part 2. Bless.